भक्तिवेदांता स्वामी श्लोपाद की जय, अनंता कोटि वैष्णविंद की जय, नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय, ब्रह्म से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल। Oh glory to Hare Krishna, oh glory to Hare Krishna, oh glory to Hare Krishna, oh glory to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, oh glory to Shri Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupada Krishna Prasthapati Shmatara Swamiti Namine. Namo Vishnupada Krishna Prasthapati Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sannapati Pashtati Shadarine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Naranam Namaskritya Naraiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudire Narshadaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Seva Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, chapter 15, entitled Parshuram, the Lord's Warrior Incarnation. Texts from 32 to 40. It's because there are no purports. So what is the system? I should read Sanskrit and the translation, or just translation?
That's up to the
Lecturer.
Yeah.
Usually you can read the Sanskrit of the first verse and the translation after just English, and we repeat together the one with the Bhagavat.
So I begin with Sanskrit, and
It's earlier to start with
this is
Sanskrit.
your idea.
That's
Okay.
what we used to do.
Drishtva sasanyam rutirauga rana jirirama kuttara sayakai vivrikna varma dvajachapa vigraham nipatitam haihaya apatatrusha. Translation. By manipulating his axe and arrows, Lord Parshuram cut to pieces the shields, flags, bows and bodies of Kartavirya Arjuna's soldiers, who fell on the battlefield, muddying the ground with their blood. Seeing these reverses, Kartavirya Arjuna, infuriated, rushed to the battlefield. Text 33. Then Kartavirya Arjuna, with his 1,000 arms, simultaneously fixed arrows on 500 bows to kill Lord Parashuram. But Lord Parashuram, the best of fighters, released enough arrows with only one bow to cut to pieces immediately all the arrows and bows in the hands of Kartavirya Arjuna. Text 34. When his arrows were cut to pieces, Kartavirya Arjuna uprooted many trees and hills with his own hands and again rushed strongly toward Lord Parashuram to kill him. But Parashuram then used his axe with great force to cut off Kartavirya Arjuna's arms, just as one might lop off the hoods of a serpent. 35 to 36. Thereafter, Parashurama cut off like a mountain peak the head of Kartavirya Arjuna, who had already lost his arms. When Kartavirya Arjuna's 10,000 sons saw their father killed, they all fled in fear. Then Parashurama, having killed the enemy, released the Kamadhenu, which had undergone great suffering, and brought it back with its calf to his residence, where he gave it to his father Jamadagni. Text 37. Parashurama described to his father and brothers his activities in killing Kartavirya Arjuna. Upon hearing of these deeds, Jamadagni spoke to his son as follows. 38. O great hero, my dear son Parashurama, you have unnecessarily killed the king, who is supposed to be the embodiment of all the demigods. Thus you have committed a sin. 39. My dear son, we are all Brahmanas and have become worshipable for the people in general because of our quality of forgiveness. It is because of this quality that Lord Brahma, the supreme spiritual master of this universe, has achieved his post. And text 40. Please repeat. Kshamaya ruchati lakshmir.
Kshamaya ruchati lakshmir.
Brahmi sauri yata prabha.
Brahmi sauri yata prabha.
Shaminam ashu bhagavams.
Shaminam ashu bhagavams.
Tushyati haririshvara.
Tushyate haririshvara.
Kshamaya rochati lakshmir.
Kshamaya rochati lakshmir.
Brahmi sauri yata prabha.
Brahmi sauri yata prabha.
Shaminam ashu bhagavams.
Shaminam ashu bhagavams.
Tushyati Haririshvaraha.
Tushyate Harishvara.
Kshamaya Rochati Lakshmi.
Kshamaya Rochate Lakshmi.
Brahmi Sauri Yata Prabha.
Brahmasuyata Prabha.
Shaminam Ashu Bhagavam.
Shaminam Ashu Bhagavam.
Tushyati Haririshvaraha.
Tushyate Harishvara.
Shamaya rochate Lakshmi.
Shamaya Rochate Lakshmi.
Brahmisauri yatha prabha.
Brahmasuyata Prabha.
Namasu bhagavam.
Namasu Bhagavam.
Tushyate haririshvaraha.
Tushyate Harishvara.
Shamaya Rochate Lakshmi.
Shamaya Rochate Lakshmi.
Rami Suriyata Prabha.
Brahmasuyata Prabha.
Shaminam Ashubhagavam.
Shaminam Ashu Bhagavam.
Tutyate Harishvaraha.
Tushyate Harishvara. Shamaya Rochate Lakshmi.
Shamaya Rochate Lakshmi.
Rami Sauriyata Prabha.
Brahmisuyata Prabha.
Shaminam Ashu Bhagavan.
Shaminam Ashu Bhagavam.
Tushyate Harir Ishvaraha.
Tushyate Haririshvara. Shamaya,
Shamaya.
simply by forgiving.
Simply by forgiving.
Rochate
Rochate
becomes pleasing.
becomes pleasing.
Lakshmi,
Lakshmi,
the goddess of fortune.
the goddess of fortune.
Brahmi,
Brahmi,
in connection with Brahminical qualifications.
in connection with Brahminical qualifications.
Sauri,
Sauri,
the sun god.
the sun god.
Yatha,
Yata,
as.
as.
Prabha,
Prabha,
the sunshine.
the sunshine.
Kshaminam,
Saminam,
unto the Brahmanas,
unto the Brahmanas,
who are forgiving.
who are forgiving.
Ashu,
Ashu,
very soon.
very soon.
Bhagavan,
Bhagavan,
the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Tushyate,
Tushyate,
becomes pleased.
becomes pleased.
Harihi,
Harihi,
the Lord.
the Lord.
Ishvaraha,
Ishvara,
the Supreme Controller.
the Supreme Controller.
The translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki. The duty of a Brahmana is to culture the quality of forgiveness, which is illuminating like the sun. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, is pleased with those who are forgiving. Purport. Different personalities become beautiful by possessing different qualities. Chanakya Pandita says that the cuckoo bird, although very black, is beautiful because of its sweet voice. Similarly, a woman becomes beautiful by her chastity and faithfulness to her husband. And an ugly person becomes beautiful when he becomes a learned scholar. In the same way, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras become beautiful by their qualities. Brahmanas are beautiful when they are forgiving, Kshatriyas when they are heroic and never retreat from fighting, Vaishyas when they enrich cultural activities and protect cows, and Shudras when they are faithful in the discharge of duties pleasing to their masters. Thus everyone becomes beautiful by his special qualities. And the special quality of the Brahmana, as described here, is forgiveness. The translation of the verse again. The duty of a Brahmana is to culture the quality of forgiveness, which is illuminating like the sun. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, is pleased with those who are forgiving. Om Ajnanatirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhisham Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yatapadakammalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Samsujivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Krishna Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindaveshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
This is very interesting part of Srimad Bhagavatam, in which Lord Parshuram is very forcefully teaching the lesson, the Kshatriyas. And there are many lessons here that we should learn from this section of verses from 32 to 40. And just to remind us what happened before what we have read today. This Kartaviri Arjuna was a very powerful person, extremely powerful king. Actually, by worshipping Dattatreya, he became invincible and extremely powerful. No one could match him. Once, in his pride, he was playing with some ladies in a river, and he reversed the flow of the river back upstream with his thousands of arms and hands. And he inundated the place of Ravana, of famous fierce Ravana. And Ravana became infuriated and wanted to kill Kartaviri Arjuna, but he was not able to. In fact, Kartaviri Arjuna playfully caught him like a monkey, it is said, and put him in a cage, and then contemptuously he released him. So Kartaviri Arjuna was an extremely powerful person. And Ravana was completely humiliated by the power of Kartaviri Arjuna. And then it happened that Kartaviri Arjuna came to the hermitage of Jamadagni, of this great Brahmana, the father of Parashuram, and with all his army. And he was very cordially and affectionately welcomed by Jamadagni. And he was astounded because although his army was extremely vast, Jamadagni, one simple poor Brahmana, could host everyone because of his Kamadhenu cow, the wish-fulfilling cow. So, because he considered himself a great god on earth, Kartaviri Arjuna, he wanted this cow for himself. And since Jamadagni wasn't willing to give it to him, he took it by force. He considered that he can take whatever he wants because he's a king. He can do whatever he pleases. But when Parashuram found out that the cow was forcefully taken away from his father, he became infuriated. He took his axe and bow and arrow, and just by his appearance, he instilled fear in Kartavirya Arjuna. It's interesting, isn't it? Because Kartavirya Arjuna was so powerful that even Ravana was caught by him easily like a monkey. But now, although he was accompanied by a great army, he was afraid of one Brahmana coming after him. And yes, he sent 17 Akshohinis of soldiers against Parashuram. And as we can see from these verses, that Parashuram killed everyone of these soldiers. And Kartavirya Arjuna became extremely furious and came to fight with Parashuram. But Parashuram, although he, with 1,000 hands, he put arrows to 500 bows, because we need 2 hands for 1 bow, and wanted to kill him. He was not successful. Before even he released arrows, Parashuram with 1 bow destroyed all his bows and arrows, and then lopped off his arms and head. So this is very important instruction, and Bhagavatam is teaching us again and again and again from different stories that pride comes before the fall. And that we have to become humble if we want to progress in our spiritual life. Lord always punishes the proud. Yes. The proud will always face the humiliation. This is the law of material world. Yes. Where there is proud, there will be humiliation. Where there is hot season, there will always be also some cold. Now it's quite cold here, isn't it? But it can get also hot, isn't it, in France? Yeah. So these are dualities of material life. It's black and white, day and night, disease and healthiness, fame and infamy. So many different dualities. So as long as we are attached to some part of these dualities, we will suffer also the other part. We cannot go around it. So if we are attached to fame, we will suffer infamy. If we are attached to our power, we will suffer when we become weak. And definitely we will become weak. So Shri Radha Paritishvara ki, Gurnika ki, Jagannath Deva Subhadramayi ki, Nitai Gaurapramanandi. So if one is attached to his power, he'll suffer, then he'll become weak. if one is attached to being important person, he'll very much suffer when he's too old that anyone would acknowledge his supremacy. Get away, you old man. He'll definitely suffer. So it's important to go beyond these dualities, and we don't identify with our material situation. Even with such, we can say, spiritual identification, but it's usually not spiritual. As for example, I'm Christian, I'm Muslim, I'm Hare Krishna. These are all material designations, different parties. Our only true situation that I'm a servant. Jivara Swarupa Krishna Nityadas. This is our eternal identification. We are eternal Krishna's servants. Even though we may be an atheist, ardent atheist, still we are Krishna's servant. We cannot go around it. It's our eternal nature. So, therefore, we should go above these dualities. And especially, pride is one of the most deadly designation. Yes, quality. Most deadly quality. Because if one is proud, it's not possible to acquire spiritual understanding. Yes. Because if you are proud, it means that we are established on material level. And not just that we are established on material level, there is even the curse of Advaitacharya that Lord Chaitanya should give everyone Krishna Prema, but not the proud. Those who are proud of their knowledge, of their high birth or anything. If you are proud of anything, that means that we are cursed from the possibility to get Krishna Prema, yes, to get spiritual understanding. Yes, so it's so important to acquire this quality of humility. Trinada Pismishna, Tarori Vasavishna, Amanna Manadina, Kirtanya, Sadahari. We can be connected to the Lord only through humility, and there is no other way. You can chant the holy name, really, if you are humble. If you are not humble, you cannot chant freely for a very long time. You will suffer by chanting instead of experience ecstasy. You will suffer. Yes, it will be great difficulty for us to chant if we are proud. So, humility is the first requirement, and not just that we're humble, we should also be patient. As tolerant as a tree, as patient as a tree. Yes. If we are not patient, so there's a question of our understanding that we are a servant. Servant means one whose will is not counted. Our will is unimportant if we are servant, isn't it? Yes. If we are servant, no one cares about our will. Yeah. The will of our master is important. Yes. And Krishna is our master, and of course, many devotees, actually every living entity is our master. Yes. Krishna says, explains in 15th chapter of Bhagavat Gita, that every living entity is my part and parcel. So, if Krishna is our master, every living entity is also our master. This is our position. Our position is just to be a servant of the servant. Therefore, it's most conducive for Shudras to become devotees. Isn't it interesting? In Bhagavatam, there are many different boons, and it is explained in different places that if one is a Brahmana, he'll become Trivedi. That means he'll know the three Vedas thoroughly. If one is Kshatriya, he'll become a Indra, the ruler of the heaven. If one is a Vaishya, he'll get thousands of cows. And if one is a Shudra, he'll become pure devotee of Krishna. Yes, because it's natural quality of a Shudra to serve. And natural quality of a Vaishnava is also to serve. That doesn't mean that we are Shudras by Varna, because there is no Varna for Vaishnava. Varnas are considered to be material designations, and therefore it is explained that it is offensive if we try to designate Vaishnavas according to Varnas or Ashramas. They are beyond these designations. But everyone, because we are living in this world, and this 40th verse explains this, everyone is put in a certain social role. As a Brahmana or Vaishya or Kshatriya or Shudra or anything, actually, even if you are Chandala or Mlechas in this Western world, who are uprooted from every social norm of the Vedas. Still, because human being is a social animal, everyone has certain social role. Yes, he's found in certain position. Either we are students, or we are teachers, or we are fathers or mothers, or we are brahmacharis living in the temple, or whatever. Certainly, if we live in society, we have certain social role. We cannot go around it. So, here it is explained that if we serve Krishna according to our social position, we please Krishna very much. Yes. So, for the Brahmanas, forgiveness is the foremost quality by which we satisfy Krishna. When Arjuna wanted to show compassion and forgiveness, Krishna was not satisfied, because Arjuna was not in the social role of a Brahmana. If he would be a Brahmana, Krishna would be pleased with his forgiveness. But since he was a Kshatriya, his social position was not forgiveness. But as explained here, the social role, how a Kshatriya becomes beautiful. Kshatriyas, when they are heroic and never retreat from fighting. And Arjuna wanted to retreat from fighting. So Krishna was not satisfied with his disposition. By the way, maybe you know Parshuram from the UK. You have heard about Parshuram Prabhu? Yes.
Food for life.
Yes, Food for Life. The iconic Parshuram. Because there are many retreats now. He said, never retreat, just go forward. It's like Kshatriyas here. Never retreat. Hare Krishna. So, yes, A woman becomes beautiful by her chastity and faithfulness to her husband. This is also very important to understand. Not many women understand this, this principle, but it's extremely important to understand. And brahmachari, as Hare Krishna, my memory is strange sometimes. As Kadamba Karana Maharaj said, brahmachari means yes man. Yes, brahmachari is servant, everyone's servant. Yes. So, if one is not willing to serve and follow the order, he's not qualified to be a brahmachari. Not qualified to be a brahmachari. And then grihastha is servant of everyone. Again, everyone is a servant. We should understand this. Yes. The whole society should, in classical settlement at least, that everyone depends on grihasthas. Yes. Grihasthas should support the whole society. Support brahmacharis. Usually brahmacharis beg from grihasthas, and also the sannyasis and vanaprasthas come to grihasthas. And grihasthas should not be proud because they support the whole society. They should be extremely humble. They should think in terms that everyone is superior to me. That I'm so implicated in material life, and these brahmacharis, vanaprasthas, and sannyasis, they come to me just to show me their mercy, yes, to bring me out of this deep dark well of material life. This should be disposition of a grihastha, of a family man who is implicated in so many material engagements. Yes. And sannyasi also, and vanaprasthas. They should also be extremely humble. Yes. Completely dependent on the Lord, on the will of the Lord. Like, we have so many examples from Shastra. For example, Madhavendra Puri. He didn't even beg. If he got any food, on its own accord, if someone took mercy on him and gave him anything, he accepted it. But if there was no food, he didn't beg for it. He just fasted by the will of the Lord. Yes. So this is also humbleness. Yes. By the Lord's will, I am situated as a sannyasi, completely detached from this world. So if the Lord doesn't send me anything to eat, I will fast. And the same with brahmacharis, as we know. Brahmacharis collect food from grihasthas and bring it to their guru. But if the guru doesn't call them for prasad, they fast. Although they brought food to their guru. They're not entitled to eat. Yes. So we should be very aware of our position, of our social role, although we shouldn't never, ever identify with our social position. So I'm this, I'm that, I'm entitled to this, I'm entitled to that. But I should very diligently perform the duty of my social role. If I'm a father, I shouldn't say, I'm not a father. This is just upadi. Sarva upadi vinirmuktam tatparatena nimanam. Krishna 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 Sivanam Bhakti Ruchate. So if I'm a devotee, I should give up this identification as a father. Yes, Of course, we should give it up, but we shouldn't give up our duties as a father. Yes. So we should very diligently perform our duty as a father and bring up our children to become Krishna conscious. This is the foremost duty of a father. Not so much to give clothing and food and roof over head for their children. Of course, this is also a duty, but it's secondary. Our foremost duty as a father is to give Krishna consciousness to our children. Otherwise, even if we provide everything for our children, if we don't give them Krishna consciousness, it's as if we would just kill them. And this is a murder, of course. So if we don't give them Krishna consciousness, we are committing murder, actually. And this is not fatherly duty, to murder his children. So, therefore we should understand, especially if we are Krishna conscious or trying to be Krishna conscious, that if we are parents, our duty is to make our children Krishna conscious. Yes. And we can't make our children Krishna conscious if we are not Krishna conscious ourselves. Because children will never do what we say if we behave otherwise. Yes. They very much know and understand what is our true disposition. Yes. So if you are preaching something and living in the other way, they will understand and they will not heed our words. Yes. So if we want to be parents, our foremost duty is first to be Krishna conscious ourselves. Guru nasasyat svachano nasasyat, pita nasasyat janani nasasyat, devam natatsya napatishtya sasyam, namochayat yaksam apitam ityam. No one should become a father or a mother or a guru or even a relative or a worshipable deity if we are not able to deliver those who are dependent on us. So yes, so therefore it's so important that we follow our role, social role, very carefully and diligently. Yes. We should never transgress our position to our social role. Yes. Because if we do, then we disrupt the whole society and no one is able to then to perform true spiritual life, because there is no example to look up to. How should I live? Yes, and everyone doesn't care about his guru's or superior's instruction. Yes. I'm my own master. And we can see this mentality is so overwhelming in this world. For example, this lunacy of sometimes I forgot things. Of criticism. is the same thing. One wants to be, when he's proud and doesn't want to follow the order of his superiors, and so he makes up a philosophy that I'm accepting the instruction of some acharya that is not personally present anymore. Yes. And of course it's convenient to accept Prabhupada. Prabhupada is my guru. Yes, okay, Prabhupada is your guru. But Prabhupada says in his books, take shelter of spiritual master. So if Prabhupada is your guru, and you don't follow this instruction of Srila Prabhupada, it's Guru Avagya. It's offense against instruction of a guru, and it's one of the 10 offenses to the holy name. So it's not possible to develop any spiritual consciousness by such an approach. So Ritviks can think that they advance spiritually, but they just blind themselves. This is just lunacy against all the principles of Shastra. Yes. And Prabhupada said again and again and again that there are three checkpoints in our spiritual progress: Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Yes. And Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, they all accept Guru. Yes. Acharya mam vijanayam navan maniyeta karhichit namartya budya suyata sarvadeva mayo guru. Krishna explains, I am the Acharya. So one should accept the instruction of a guru. He should accept the he should take shelter of guru and follow his instruction. And this is so important because, as we mentioned, we are proud in this. Everyone who is in this material world, he's falsely proud. Yes. By Krishna consciousness, we try to become humble. Try to train our consciousness to become humble. So, if you are not on the level of Krishna Prema, or at least Bhava, that means that many traces of pride are still in our heart. So yes, we should therefore learn humility. And if you don't want to accept this, the leadership of a guru, where is the question of humility? Yes. Then I'm my own master. If I don't accept a guru, I'm my own master. I will accept whatever I want. I will take this passage because I like it, and I don't accept this passage, or I interpret it in this particular way to suit my idea. Yes. So this is one of these qualities of living entities is to cheat, this propensity to cheat others, and especially also ourselves. Yes. We don't cheat only others, but we cheat mostly ourselves. Yes. So we should take these passages very seriously. Lord will always come to curb our pride, like Lord Parshuram came and curbed the pride of Kartagiri Arjuna. And from this particular verse, we should learn that we should always perform our duties to our social role very diligently, but not identify with this role. This is also important, that we understand we are just a servant. So even if I am a guru, Jagat Guru, the spiritual master of the whole world, still I should always consider myself a servant of the servant. Yes. Even if I am a president of France or president of the United States, still if I'm a devotee, I should consider myself a servant of the servant of the servant. Yes, and this is my only position, true position. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Is there any question or comment or doubt? Or something for discussion?
I have a question.
Yes.
Thank you for the class. We were talking about giving Krishna consciousness to one's children is the foremost duty of a parent,
Yes.
especially the father. And my question is, what do you think? What do you think? Or what is your experience? Is there some things? I mean, today, like the society is not very conducive for bringing up Krishna conscious children. So do you have any advice or some observations, within ISKCON society, or how to do that?
Yes. I don't know about situation, political situation, or legal situation in France. In Slovenia, there is a possibility to homeschool our children. And my wife and I, we homeschooled them, all three of them. As Prabhupada explained, that schools are slaughterhouses for children. And this is not just a statement, forceful statement, but it's true. You should know, because especially young children are like sponges. They take everything they encounter very deep in their heart, because they don't have filters to understand what is to be taken seriously and what's not to be taken seriously, what is proper, what's improper, what is truth and what is not. So if it's possible to homeschool children in France, I would suggest that every parent choose this opportunity. And if it's not, then what to do? Maybe try to enroll children to some school that is less harmful, we can say, than usual atheistic schooling. But usually all other alternatives are bad. If at all possible, the parents can come together and establish school, if it's legally possible in France. But this is very rarely possible. So if children are forced by law to go to regular schools, then it's so more difficult and even more burden on the parents that they should be extremely Krishna conscious themselves, but not fanatical, of course. Krishna conscious. Krishna conscious means that they give proper knowledge to children, and they live first, that they live their Krishna consciousness very seriously, that the holy name is the foremost duty. The day begins with the holy name, not with other things. And parents shouldn't do anything during their chanting. If they talk to each other or scroll through the phone, this will kill Krishna consciousness in themselves and also in their children. So if the children, if they go to ordinary school, then parents should be so much more Krishna conscious. And then they always should have spiritual programs together. Mangala Arati, Gaura Arati. They should see that their children are chanting. They should read Bhagavatam together. Yes. Because if there is not very strong philosophical foundation to Krishna consciousness, if there is no tattva, understanding for children, then the day will come, inevitably, and the children will think, this is just religion of my parents. And this is the worst thing that can happen. If they think this is just religion of my parents. So, this is not religion, first you should understand this. This is Sanatana Dharma of every living entity. And children should understand this, not just theoretically, but also, first of all, theoretically. They should know Bhagavatam. They should know Bhagavad Gita very well. Yes. And also Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this is the duty of a father. And mother should be very loving. This is also her duty. To be very loving, also very fixed in her Krishna consciousness. And take good care for deities. And mother should be at home. Shouldn't go out and for some career. If mother goes out for some career, then the house is empty, and children come to empty house. An empty house is like a crematorium. There is no loving mother. Even in Shastra it says, if there is no loving mother or wife at home, it's better to live in the forest. Yes. So if children, if they don't have loving mother when they come home, it's crazy environment. It's not Krishna conscious environment. Yes. So mother should stay at home. Money is not important. Important is loving environment. And this is the duty of a mother, to give loving environment to the children. Yes. If one has a child, this means that Krishna entrusted this child to make him Krishna conscious. So this is my duty. No career is my duty. Nothing is my duty except to bring up this child to be Krishna conscious. This is my only duty, actually. Yes. And of course, I have to provide for my family, but foremost duty is to make Krishna conscious our children. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Yes.
Thank you, Prab. Okay, so I guess I have one, maybe two, but so you describe the duties for those who socially identified as brahmacharis. They should be obedient like that. So in terms of the Shastra, it means brahmachari, at least from Bhagavatam, is menial terms of guru.
Yes.
Now in modern terms, this means is like obedient to basically everyone, or not every authority has the same grade of qualification. So I don't know if you want to comment on that, like how to apply this principle in the context of modern institutional context.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that may be true, that not everyone is qualified to be an authority. If this is the situation, and we live in such an environment, as a brahmachari, you should go out if you are disturbed by this. If you are not disturbed, then we can remain brahmachari. And of course, we should consult our spiritual master. What is his desire? And then we follow his instruction. This is our foremost duty. But if you live in a certain community, then we should follow the authority. Yes. Otherwise, we just disrupt the whole system by our disobedience. So if we really think that this particular authority is not worthy to be followed, and our spiritual master advises us that we don't follow such authority, we should go away from such authority. Yes. And we should serve in different settlements. Yes. But if you try to destroy this authority, it's just envy, actually. Just envy. If certain authority is completely against the principles of devotional service, there are ways to convey this concern to his authorities, because everyone has certain authority. No. And if authorities of this particular authority, they don't do anything, then we just should go away. And then we are not responsible anymore for his benefit. Because if someone is not behaving properly or leading his people in the wrong way, we should help him, such a person, serve such a person to become good devotee. But if it is not possible for us to serve in such a way, we should serve also by avoiding them. It's instruction of Shastra. So we should avoid people who are against Krishna consciousness, or harmful to Krishna consciousness, according to our estimation at least. Is this okay?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
I had a small one, but
Yeah.
bigger.
You have another question?
Yeah, is it
Yes.
okay? Because Parashuram, mostly in Bhagavatam, say Krishna breaks the pride of many people.
Yeah.
But in context of Kali Yuga, where Krishna never takes any weapon, so how does he break the pride? Because in those cases, it's like showing superiority, and it's like,
Yes, he can cut off the head.
yeah. So this is like express treatment, But for us, since the Lord will not do that, how does that take place in this context?
Very similarly, actually. It's not much difference. Maybe our head will not fall off. But I don't know what is the expression in France. In Slovene, it is if one is proud and if he's unwilling to do something because of his pride, he thinks that his crown will fall off the head. We have something similar?
I don't know.
His crown.
The crown will fall off the head. So our crown will fall off our head. You understand? You'll be humiliated and will suffer. And we experience suffering so much so in Kali Yuga. And everything is wrong in Kali Yuga. And so we can complain endlessly. But as long as we complain, we suffer. We should learn to accept everything as Krishna's mercy. Tattena kampansa samikshamano bunjane vatma kritam vipakam kritva kakupir vidadanamasti jivete muktipade sadava. It is explained in 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam that one should accept everything, every reversal in life as Krishna's special mercy. And if we complain because of this reversal, we haven't learned our lesson. So Krishna's weapon, we can say, are these reversals that teach us humility. And if you are not willing to voluntarily be humble, Krishna will teach us through different means to humiliate us. And if we are attached to our pride and our position, take them as an elevator to Krishna consciousness. Yes, then we will very quickly advance in our Krishna consciousness. So these tribulations and reversals and sufferings are welcome in our Krishna consciousness. We should be grateful. Okay. Thank you very much for your attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Jantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande,
Haribo.
Hare
Srimad Bhagavatam Prabhu ki
Krishna.